If ever you travel into Sydney, Australia via cruise ship, this is one of the sights you'll see, and I've seen many a harbour in my travels, but none more beautiful to me than our harbour in Sydney, Australia. Just breathtaking. Hi, Michelle here from Travelling Over 60. I thought I'd give you a little bit of a look at our harbour and where the cruise ships come in and the things that you might like to do around this area. Before I go down to where the ship is and start from there, I'll give you a little bit of a look from Circular Quay train station, and then we'll show you all the area around where the ship is docked, walk all the way around from the cruise ship to where the Sydney Opera House is, and keeping in mind there was a lot of people in the city this day because a ship was in, but we still managed to get through the crowd and show you what you need to see. Don't forget, if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let's get going. Bit of a look at Sydney International Shipping Terminal. Just here to the right of the video is the edge of the Opera House. Across here we have the Harbour Bridge, a ship that's in port. Then if you're wanting to go to the airport via a train, you just walk along here, which I'll go down and show you in a minute. Walk along here, have a bit of a look. They're walking along down below. When you get to here, you come up to the station. You can hop on a train and it'll take you directly to the international terminal. Now, if you're a little bit adventurous and you love the look of our harbour bridge, you might be interested in a bridge climb. People are walking across the top of the harbour bridge. If you're interested in doing this, just Google Sydney Harbour Bridge Climb. You'll be able to book it directly on their website. I've made it down to where the ship's dock. Let's have a bit of a look around. Some beautiful heritage buildings along the harbour here, and just behind these buildings is the area called the Rocks. You'll find some pubs and things behind there where you'll be able to get something to eat and drink as well. But we're going to walk down a bit further. So here's where the ship is, and we're going to keep walking straight ahead. Right up this end here, there is restaurants right on the harbour. But keep in mind, these are higher end restaurants. You'll pay for it. Those restaurants were just up where the harbour bridge is up there. We've walked all the way down here. The barricades are purely because the ship's in. Walk down this way. If you come out of the shipping terminal, there's a pedestrian crossing up to your right. But take care, on the other side of the road to where I'm videoing, you can see there's a gutter. Not all the gutters in Sydney are rolled gutters like the one closest to the camera. You'll have to walk down if you have luggage or a wheelchair until you find where the dip might be. So it's an actual gutter, then you'll come across a dip. These lucky people, they're getting on a cruise, but if you're getting off a cruise, you'll start from here. You're going to walk down this way to your left, walking all the way down to get us to the station. On this side of the road, if you'd like to have a look at the rocks, come across the pedestrian crossing, and the rocks are up those stairs. Now, if you can't make the stairs, this is just paving on the ground, just bricks put together in a pattern. Very easy walking. You can just make your way along the path here. But if you're in a wheelchair or you're having trouble walking, it's a bit strenuous maybe, this does go up a hill. The Rocks is at the top of a hill. So if you walk down here a bit, I'll show you. You've got to go up to where those buildings are behind there. We'll get a little bit closer and I'll show you This is another pedestrian crossing. Remember to stay safe when you're crossing the road. We drive on the left-hand side. Now I'm just going to show you up here. If you're in a wheelchair, crutches, walking stick, just not very mobile, this is the hill you'll have to walk up to get to the pubs and things that are in the rocks. But we're going to keep going straight ahead here. Like I say, it's all paved. It's very flat, accessible walking. You can pull along your suitcases. And if you're walking along here, you'll see in a minute there's a few people that will have suitcases and they don't seem to be having any problem wheeling them along. If you need to stop for a bit of a break, there's some places over to the right-hand side there where you can sit. And if you look here, there's some suitcases coming up. That was just a small one. But enjoy the harbour while we're walking. Don't forget to look left. Walking down here a bit further. When I'm videoing, you're going to see lots of feet. I tend not to video people's faces, purely because when I'm walking the streets, I don't really want anyone videoing me either. So this is more about showing you whether it's accessible or not. People with suitcases on the right-hand side there don't seem to be having any problems. And we'll just keep walking down this way. We're heading towards a station that's called Circular Quay. Another suitcase, just wheeling along quite easily. Keep walking this way. As we get down a bit closer here, we'll come across a cafe. If you're wanting to stop and have a coffee, they sell little cakes and pastries, and I think they even had some little sandwiches in there. I'll point them out as we get a bit closer. Some seats on the left-hand side if you wanted to stop and just have a look at the harbour. Keep walking down here. A lot of people in the city today because of the ship being in. Lots of people getting on, lots of people getting off. As we're walking down here, there's a little tiny shop to the right-hand side that looks to be selling ice creams. I think they do have a few drinks in there, but the cafe I was talking about is around to your left and a bit further on. Here's a bit closer look at the ice cream shop. Now we're going to keep walking up to our left. So we've turned the corner, walking up this way. The ground is still pavers, and we'll keep walking this way. Over to the right, there's a restaurant. To the left are our wharves that will take us to different places around the harbour. Just give you a bit more of a look. That's a wharf. And there is a look at one of the little restaurants. They're sort of tucked back in behind the plants there. Most of them will have a menu out the front for you to have a look what they serve food-wise and pricing. We're going to just keep walking up for the moment. Opposite Wharf 5 is where Circular Quay Station is, which is just about here. Wharf 5 is to the left, and if you're turning right here, this is Circular Quay train station, and it took me less than 5 minutes to get here. Maybe with a bit of luggage, might take a little longer. Turning in left here and going in through these turnstiles will show the signs that'll take you up to the platform for the airport. Now, as you can see, the gates have green arrows, red crosses. Of course, the red crosses mean those ones are closed. So you just come through these turnstiles. You walk up to them, you'll see there's a round circle on the top. If you're local to Sydney, or if you're going to spend some time here, we use a transport card called an Opal card. You just tap on the brightly coloured circle above, but if you're a tourist and don't have an Opal card, you can use your credit card. Check in the machine above that it's registered, and once that happens, the gates will open. We also have another machine. It's the same sort of machine. It's just a more upright one. You just tap on that. Once you walk through the turnstiles, there'll be signs that are above. They'll tell you the different stations. The airport station is called International if you're travelling overseas, or Domestic if you're travelling within Australia. It'll have a platform number. You can see over on the left-hand side, it shows you the platform. It also had a little plane sign to show you to go upstairs for that. If you can't do the stairs, we have lifts as well. When you get to the platform, keep a listen out for the announcements of where the train's going. There'll also be a sign. Keep a watch on the signs. Not all trains will be going to where you want to go. Keep in mind, if you've got luggage, you might have to lift them onto the train and at the other end, lift them off onto the platform. Here we are outside again. Now over to the left side is the Wharf, the little cafe I was talking about just behind there. This is Wharf 5. If you walk down here and look to the black post here, it's the sign to tell you where all the different places are and what wharf you need to go to. Now the wharfs are all numbered. You see this one, I'm still back where the station was. But if you keep walking along and you see wharf number 4, at this point in time when I'm videoing, you go to wharf 4 if you would like to go to Taronga Park Zoo. Now that's a full day. If you wanted to go to the zoo, the ferry will take you there, but it's a full day to get round the zoo. It's a very large zoo. Taronga is a great place to go to if you're wanting to fill in the full day, but I'll show you a bit later. We do have a smaller zoo in the city that you'll be able to visit if you only want to spend a couple of hours. As we're walking along, looking to the left where all the wharfs are, there's a few little tour shops that are selling tours of different sorts, and this one had a really good map showing you around the harbour, what you can see in different places around the harbour. But we're going to keep going. So you can see a train up there. But where you go into the train station was back here. We've kept walking all the way to the end. We're going round the corner now and we're going to walk all the way up to the end up there. Along the way you'll come across some other restaurants, cafes, all sorts of little things like that. Sometimes you get those little trucks where you can just buy a pastry or something, and if you just keep walking you'll find something. Oh, and the Powerade people.
Yes, free.
Yeah, we'll promote you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that's pretty cool. You sometimes, if you're walking along here, there's promotional people handing things out. We just got a bottle of Powerade each. Okay, let's keep walking up here. But you can see, there's the ship right there. So it's all very close walking distance, all flat ground. We're onto bigger tiles now, but it's still very easy walking. Would be fine for a wheelchair or a walker. Seating as we go. If you get a bit tired, there's some seats where you can sit and just take in the harbour. Cafes here. We'll just keep walking up to the end. We notice some little booths that are also selling tours, whale watching tours, and all sorts of different things that you can come and have a look. I think there was a fast boat one. Oh, here's another one that has one of those fast boats if you're adventurous. Oh, and it looks like they're just about to go. Let's have a bit of a look. There they go. All cute in their purple. So they're just asking if you get, how wet do you get when you do this excursion? And the fellow that's driving the boat said, pretty wet. Keep that in mind if you want to do this. Here they go. They think they're just going on a nice little boat ride. Good luck. Beautiful little restaurant right on the edge of the harbour to sit and get a meal. Now, if you made it all the way round to here, what a perfect photo opportunity. You have the ship in the background, the name of where you are, and you sitting in the front. Just be prepared. If there's a ship in, you might have to line up just to have a photo. Nearly made it to the Opera House. On the right-hand side of me here, up on top of that wall there, is the Botanical Gardens. I'll show you that in a minute. But if you look closely, you'll see there's people just underneath the base of the Opera House. There's little cafes, restaurants underneath there where you can go and get drinks or a meal, something to eat. There is just some seating if you wanted to just go and sit and just enjoy this harbour. You can see the seats just there. Remember, it gets busy when there's a ship in. And this is the tables and chairs where you can sit and have a meal or a drink. Okay, we made it. Here we are at Sydney Opera House. This is what you would see as you sail into the international terminal. This is just from the other side. They do have a backstage tour, but it just depends on what day that you'll be in the city of whether you can book. We made it. We're back to the front of the Opera House where I started the videoing. Looking back here at our city, you can see the ship on the right. We've walked all that way. Up above here, this is our Botanical Gardens, and there's some sort of an event on today, so we're unable to walk in front of the Opera House stairs. But they did say to us there was a sign saying that where those buses are going, you can walk up there and go to the front entrance, but it's a bit of a hill. Otherwise, they're asking us to walk underneath the stairs of the Opera House, which is just up here on the right-hand side. And that's also where the entrance is to the Opera House as well. But we'll go up here and we'll have a little bit of a look, and I'll show you the other entrance to the Botanical Gardens. Just looking at the ground, it's still pavers here and underneath the stairs, but as we come out the other end, it's just like road base. So just walking along here, very accessible, walking stick, wheelchairs, prams, as you can see. And you walk down to the end where you can see those brick pylons. That's the entrance to the Botanical Gardens. You just walk in through there and have a bit of a wander. Okay, we've made our way back to where the station is. What I did notice is there wasn't many signs for public toilets. We've walked all the way back to the station here, and I can see one just to the left of this little cafe. But other than that, I didn't see any others. You would have to ask in the cafes or restaurants if anything is available to you through them. Now we've decided to take you around to Darling Harbour. We came through those turnstiles that are the same as what you had at the train station. You can use your credit card. You come through the turnstiles and walk down the slope onto the wharf here. Now just be careful, there is a railing to hold on to, but it's a little bit steep. If you walk around here now, there'll be a sign up high telling you where this particular wharf, where the ferries will be taking you to. And keep a watch on that because it's the same as the train station. Not all ferries will take you to where you go. They also announce it, so keep a listen out for their announcements. Our ferries arrived. We're on Wharf 5 to go to Darling Harbour. If you look through there, you can see there is a ramp that will take you onto the ferry. It was very accessible, bit of a steep ramp to come down, but otherwise quite easy to get onto the ferry. If you need help, there's attendants around. Just ask. Once on board, there's signs to tell you how long it'll take you to get to your stop. There's only 2 minutes to get to Luna Park if you have teenagers or you're young at heart. Luna Park's like a small amusement park. Doesn't have any of the really big rides, but still a lot of fun if you'd like to go. We've reached our destination of Barangaroo. That's the home of where our casino is, which is just there. As you can see, that building at the end. Now we're going to make our way along the harbour here, just down here, and make our way towards Darling Harbour, where we can show you a few other attractions you might like to see. As we walk along here, you'll see a whole lot of cafes and restaurants and bars again, where you can stop and have something to eat or drink. Some of these restaurants are quite interesting, decorated with lovely gardens. Now we're going to keep making our way up towards Darling Harbour, walking straight ahead. As you're walking along, you might see some of these little offshoots on the left-hand side. There's some stairs over there to the left. If you walk to the top, it'll take you to the streets behind, which you might find some souvenirs. But if you're not familiar doing that, you might like to just stay along the path here near the harbour. It's still easy walking, large tiles, easy access for most people. Looking back where we started, there's the casino. We've walked down here, past the restaurants, bars, cafes, some nice gardens along the way, and we've made it to Darling Harbour, where there is some other attractions you might like to see. The one directly in front of me is Wildlife Sydney Zoo. Of course, it's a lot smaller than Taronga Zoo. You're not going to see your giraffe or tigers or lions, but you will get to see our good old Aussie koalas, and they promote it as the home of the Aussie Big Five: platypus, koala, wombat, kangaroo and crocodiles. Right next door, we have Madame Tussauds if you'd like to go into that one and have a look. But we've walked down that straight stretch, and now we're going to turn the corner and walk back this way. Down here, you'll see our Sea Life Sydney. Now, if you wanted to go in and have a look at sharks, there's all sorts of sea life in there, but we have some great tunnels that you can walk through and look above you, and the sharks and stingrays are swimming above you. It's a good couple of hours that you will spend in here, but if you come to Darling Harbour, you could spend as little or as much time as you'd like. They do sell a group ticket where you can purchase all three, but that would be a full day. Let's keep going. Along here you can see easy walking, pavers, the bricks formed in a pattern, that's all it is. It's very easy, wheelchairs, crutches, walking sticks, walkers, or even just somebody who's getting a little bit fatigued and a bit wobbly like us. Looking closer here, you'll see there's some steps down onto the wharf if you were to book one of the tours that leaves on one of these boats, but there's also a ramp. Over here you can see more cafes, more bars. Just down here a bit, if you look up, beautiful restaurant looking out onto the harbour. Down below here, behind those cafes, and there's a few shops that sell souvenirs. There's also a little booth over there that if you wanted to book one of those tours on a boat, you just need to go in and have a chat with them, and they'll let you know how long it takes and whether you can manage to do it. If you wanted to go up the top there and have a look at the harbour from up there, you just need to walk up here and go up the escalators. Looking a bit closer underneath the escalators, you'll see that there is some public toilets right down there with the red signs. Okay, we're on the last little bit. Of course, this bit here, you're going to find more bars, more cafes, and more restaurants. One thing is, around Sydney Harbour, you're not going to get hungry, you're not going to get thirsty. The walking I have found to be easy walking. It's either been pavers or the big tiles, a little bit of road base we walked on, but otherwise I found it to be very easy to get around. Okay, well, I'm hoping I've been able to show you just a few things you might be able to do. Whether you're here for a couple of hours, whether you're here for a day, I'm hoping that you can work out from this video what you might be able to fit into your day. Now, of course, I haven't been able to show you everything, but I have tried to show you just a few things to choose from. Or maybe this video has helped you make a decision on whether you'd like to walk to the train station, catch a train to the airport, or you might decide to just catch a cab and go that way. Hopefully I've helped you in some way, and if I have, don't forget, give me a thumbs up, and you might like to subscribe to my channel and come along with me on my next adventure. I'll be cruising from Hawaii all the way back to Sydney, and then I'll be catching that train all the way back to my hometown. Here's 2 more videos you might be interested in watching.